Reflecting on life abroad. Hi, my name is Sue Shormans, and wherever you are in the world, welcome to my channel. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. So this is an introductory video to start a new series of videos where I'm going to share my reflections and, importantly, my top tips related to three subject matters. One is establishing a support network when you live abroad. Number two is learning the language. And number three is finding work. And these subjects came about not only from my book, but also from my own experiences of living abroad. These videos follow on from a series of videos that I did earlier, the good, bad and the ugly of life abroad. And then I looked at international careers. These videos come about following a number of newsletters that I've sent out over recent months. Yes, if you're not aware, I do produce a newsletter. It goes out once every quarter, no more than that. So if you're interested in subscribing to that, you can do so via my website, sueshormansauthor.com, or just send me an email, hello@sueshormansauthor.com. So I covered these subject areas in these newsletters, and I thought, why not bring them to life a little bit more by me talking about them and giving some more information about those subject matters. I'll be brutally honest with you. There have been plenty of times during my over 2 decades, 22, 23 years of living abroad, where I have absolutely sunk under the pressure of the challenges that I've been facing. I've always got through them, of course. I wouldn't be sat here, would I? I've always surfaced. I started to doggy paddle, and then with more and more confidence on dealing with really challenging situations, I started to swim confidently again, having found the resources and the know-how of how to deal with those situations. Let's get started on the first subject, which is a support network. The reality is your family and friends are thousands of kilometres, miles away from where you're living when you live abroad. And you quickly realise that you're alone. You don't have that family and friends to pull on, to go for a coffee with, to babysit for your kids. You just don't have it. So you're starting from scratch. You're starting from a foundation of nil. And you need to quickly get yourself a network of friends. The challenges that I found, however, is that very often the natives in the country where you're living have their own support network. And more often than not, they're very, very busy people, don't necessarily have the time to embrace new friendships. So that makes it doubly difficult for you to integrate and get new friends with the locals. It's not impossible, but it can be challenging. And also, perhaps they've never lived abroad themselves, so they don't necessarily understand what you're going through and don't appreciate the challenges that you're having. There's just kind of sometimes just no match because you're operating from different standpoints in life. So that expat bubble that is often frowned upon, and yes, I frowned upon it when I first moved abroad, is your go-to. And I would stress it's really important to go to the expat bubble, the networking, the socialising with other people that live abroad, because there you start to build relationships, you get new friendships, and you get often a new family of friends that you can pull on in times of emergencies, or just build those new friendships with like-minded people. And they get it because they're experiencing the same situations as you are. So that's number one, support network. And following this video, the next video will be on me sharing my top tips about how to establish a support network. The next point, reflecting on life abroad, is about learning the language. And this will be the second video that I share after this one. I will share my top tips with regard to learning language. You get Questions like, when will you start learning the language? You don't speak the language well yet, do you? What's going off? And those comments, those questions are really not helpful. And the reality is, language learning does not happen overnight. Think about when you were at school, how long it took you to actually learn your own native language. And the other issue that you have on the foundation here when you're learning a foreign language is that you are attempting to integrate into a culture where things are done quite differently. So the challenges are of learning something new, whether it be the language or something else, are amplified because you've got a sandy base, a muddy base, and not a very solid base where the foundations of your life, your safety, your security, your comfort of your home have yet to be established. And yet we're expecting ourselves, we put so much pressure on ourselves to learn the language just like that overnight. And the locals are kind of, have you not learned the language yet? Yeah, well, it takes time. Think about how long it took you to learn the language at school. So when, for example, I first moved to Norway, when I reflect on that time there, I recall getting agitated with myself because I wasn't progressing very fast. And the reason was because I was suffering from culture shock, and yeah, I hadn't appreciated that first I needed to learn how to learn a language, and then on top of that I needed to learn how to learn the language itself. So we've got different layers here. So that was point number 2, reflecting on life abroad, learning the language and the challenges related to that. Point number 3 is about finding work, which is always a big issue with people that live abroad. When you're relocating abroad and you're relocating without a job to go to, you can expect some challenges for sure. Your qualifications may not be valued in that country, your experience may not be recognised, you may end up starting from scratch, you might have to change your career, etc. Reflecting on my own career, I should have heard the alarm bells. In fact, they were blasting sirens because I applied for numerous jobs and I just got no. In the end, I kind of gave up, repatriated to my home country, had 3 interviews and got 3 job offers. So there's this bit of, oh gosh, yeah, what actually do I need to do to prepare myself with regard to finding work in a foreign country? So that will be video number 3 that will come after this one, looking at finding work. And do tap into the previous videos on this channel that I've done with regard to international careers. So there are my snapshot reflections of life abroad on what I class as the top most challenging areas when you live abroad. Network, yeah, we need to have a network of friends. Language, learning the language, and work. And just 2 final questions before I close off this video. And that's questions to you about reflecting on life abroad. What springs to mind when you reflect on life abroad? What have been your biggest challenges, your biggest learnings? And if you're not yet living abroad, what do you expect to be your biggest challenges? If you found this video helpful, why not consider sharing it with someone else that you consider would find the content of value? And don't forget to like and place a comment. I'd love to know what you think about the content of this video and the other videos. And importantly, don't forget to subscribe, then you don't miss out on future videos. And remember, there are plenty of videos that have come before this one. So take a look through the channel and enjoy browsing and listening to the other content that I've posted over recent months. Until the next time, take care. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.